Hello everybody, my name is Opodic and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about which one is better, axes or swords. So, which one do you think is better and why? Tell me in the comments because, this is a really good debate and let's just get into it. And first up, we'll start off with my personal favorite, swords. And as you know, with swords, these ones are mainly used for DPS and not really much for single hit attacks. So, if you have some really stacked person, it's better to use like a sword. So, I'll get into the details right now. Swords. Swords have a lower attack speed than axes do, meaning that you can attack more with swords than you can with axes. I can't talk today, huh? Anyways, with this in mind, you might be thinking, oh, but the damage is lower, so wouldn't that even out? No, because over time, all that speed builds up into more DPS. Meaning that if you have an axe, you can do more damage in one hit. But you can't do more in multiple hits. That's why when you see people who are fully maxed out, fully maxed out netherite gear, they're most likely using a sword. It's simply because swords have more DPS. And when you're fighting stacked players, you'd most likely want to use a sword other than an axe. Simply because axes' high damage is only good if the person can't heal. Because axes, their attack speed is so slow that the time it takes for you to charge up another attack, your opponent will have already healed up from the previous attack. So with swords, you can just spam crit and apply pressure. And if you keep on applying pressure, when they get low enough, they'll start to panic. And that is the perfect time to drop them. And you might be saying, oh, maybe we can just, use an axe and switch to a sword. That's not really a smart idea either, since, you still have that cooldown from the axe. And because if you want to switch the sword, not only will you have the cooldown on the axe that will go, but when you switch to the sword, you'll still have that said cooldown as soon as you switch. And with swords, you could easily hold combos against people who's not in netherite. For instance, if you hop on PvP Legacy or any 1.6 team server with some sort of boxing game mode, you can see that it's much easier to hold a box like that type of combo with a sword than it is with an axe, simply because the attack speed is slower. You might be saying, oh, the attack speed is slower to balance it, and you can only do this because the person's not running away. True, but the thing is, if you're doing this on a normal type player, maybe they try to run away after like 2 or 3 hits. But after that, they would have already taken a ton of damage. And now let's get into the axe segment. After we put this meme on screen right now.
Cardi. Playboy Cardi, please, if you can hear us, please save us. Playboy Cardi, I'm asking it, please. Playboy Cardi, please, if you can hear us, please save us. Save us. Cardi, please drop the album. Please save us.
I like to test out these little things. So if you guys like that meme segment, tell me how you thought about it in the comments. And I might do more of them because, I find them pretty funny. Anyways, let's get into axes. Axe's main, way of fighting is hit, run away, hit. So it's best if you are a passive player who only goes in for an attack or waits for someone to get near you to attack. Axes are really good for counterattacking because when someone hits you, you can punish their hit. If it's a normal hit, when they hit you while you're falling, when you take knockback and you're falling, you can easily punish that with an axe crit, which does a lot of damage. But the thing is, axes are only viable if you're fighting against people with no armor. Because, you can do the most damage in one hit. But that's the real question. Why are you fighting poor people with an axe? You have a maxed out netherite axe and you are one-shotting poor people. At that point, you might as well just use a sword. I mean, you're still going to kill them either way. But, axes are better if you want to kill poor people inside Minecraft, so you can use that. Axes, also, the damage on them is like insane. Axe crits can deal a ton of damage to players who have barely any armor. So, if you're fighting someone who's using an axe and you have barely any armor, you just better hope they miss their hits. because they cut through health like crazy. And if someone has low amounts of armor, they can't heal up that much damage, simply because the axe did too much damage to heal in enough time for that the axe takes to reload. So let's say someone axe crits me. I'm in only iron armor. Boom, I go down to like half HP. I don't have time to heal up before they can axe crit me again. So what I can do is, you know what, run away. And you can kind of play it unpredictable with, you know, swords, because if they are jumping towards you, what you can do is right when you're within their hit range, and when they're within your hit range, like slightly move to the left or right and then hit. What this will do is that it will disorient your opponent, and you know, if your opponent is pretty good at any type of PvP and they have like tracking, then you're probably gonna get hit still. But it's still good to use against people who aren't that experienced or don't have that good of tracking. So, you're going against someone with an axe, you move to the side, and then hit. And the thing is, doing this is very risky. But the thing is, if they're jumping towards you and you land that hit while they're in the air, they will also take fall damage while they hit the ground. And that fall damage, on top of that, you can start a combo. How I usually like to start combos are hit, once it hits the ground, you hit, like I press D, so hit, D tap, W tap, well not really D tap, but like tap the D key, then W tap. Then after that, what I do is I just right click, not right click, but like sometimes right click with my shield if I'm using a shield, but I mainly don't. So if you are using a shield, right click, just to, you know, mess up their attack, but because they're gonna run out that combo if they're really trying to win. And you know, axes are really deadly against users who have no armor or no protection, and you know, that's not really a good thing because you're screwed basically if you're fighting against a stacked person who has an axe, unless you're better than them at every single type of PvP. When it comes to like swords versus axes, then you're probably not gonna win. As long as you have better tracking and movement than them, you could probably beat them. As long as their tracking isn't better than your movement, you're fine. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, and I'm really close to 2,000 subscribers. I want to get that before my birthday, so hopefully you subscribe. And by the way, I'll do a birthday stream most likely, so stay tuned. Turn on post notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.